All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Happy Wednesday to you. I hope that you are having a good day, and I hope that you are staying cozy in this very, very cold weather. We will have some interesting stuff to be logging for Science Now in our weather logs, won't we? Very, very cold. All right. So this week we are embarking on the water cycle. Now, last week we talked about heat transfer and we talked about um, how heat moves from one place to another. And this is going to tie in a lot to the concepts that we're learning in the water cycle this week. So, for you guys who are hybrid learning this week, and man, depending on the way that this weather shapes up, uh, we may be distance learning, but either way, here is our agenda for the week. Now, for hybrid learners, that means that you're going to have some stuff that you're going to be doing at home, and then there's going to be some stuff that we're going to plan to do in class. Of course, if you are quarantined or if we are distance learning due to weather, then we're going to be completing all of this at home for this week. So it's going to just kind of depend. Either way, we've got our weekly overview video, which if you are here and you're watching this, then you are getting points for that. So watch that on Wednesday for full points. This week in your notebook, you're going to need slides 8 through 11. So you'll go into the digital copy of our notebook and copy over those slides. For your homework this week, I have a water cycle ed puzzle that you will complete. More instructions on that to come. Now, if we are in class together, then we will be doing the following things together in class. If not, then we'll need to do this at home. And of course, for my online learners, you guys are going to be doing all of this online at home either way. So you guys are pros at this kind of procedure. But we're going to be going into science now. Again, this is going to be on slide 3, just like last week. Then we're going to move into looking at the water cycle, and we've got some introduction and short notes. Then you will do the Journey of a Water Drop activity. This is going to be taking place on slide 10 of your notebook. And there are specific instructions about how to complete this activity. And so whether we are together in class or whether you are doing this at home, you'll be able to complete this activity either way. Last is an exit ticket. This is going to be slide 11 in your notebook. And we're going to be basically filling out that slide, and then you'll take a snip of that for me. Okay, now we do have some different hours going on because of snow days and AMI learning. So for Monday and Tuesday, these hours are going to be a little bit different because of the snow day. My hours are 9:30 to 10. But normally, when we're not dealing with AMI, if you are learning from home, you're like on your virtual day, or for all of my online learners, office hours over Zoom are typically Mondays and Tuesdays from 10:30 to 11:15. When it is an AMI day, again, that's 9:30 to 10. Wednesdays, 10 to 11 a.m. That never changes. So if you're watching this video and you've got questions, just click this link and it will take you right to my Zoom. Also, always available by email. Here are the same instructions as last week for Science Now. So if you need a refresher on that, then here it is. In Science Now, we're going to be on our second week. So you're going to be down in the second row. And just like last week, we're going to log your date. We're going to log the temperature in degrees Fahrenheit. You're also going to look at the current barometer reading. So on the NOAA site, that will say barometer. And then you're also going to record percent humidity. And we should have some interesting things that we can compare here. And hopefully, like I said, over the coming weeks, we're going to just be logging our weather and seeing if there are any patterns that emerge. So when you get into the NOAA site and you've looked at the full forecast, see full forecast, you'll be able to get all of that information for your chart. Okay, moving on. This week's lesson is the water cycle, like I told you. And so we are really learning about the water cycle. One, because water is an incredibly important resource, but it also plays a huge role in Earth's weather patterns. And so by the end of this lesson, you should be able to describe the processes of the water cycle. So, meaning like, what are the different parts and processes, ways that water moves through the water cycle? You should also be able to explain the importance of the water cycle in Earth's weather patterns. So, thinking about how do these different processes connect to the weather that we see? And of course, we also want to be able to describe the connection between the water cycle and other parts of an ecosystem. So, the water cycle doesn't just exist all by itself, but it's interacting with other parts of our ecosystem, like plants and animals. So when you get to the point where you have these things mastered, you can drag these little check marks over and check off your learning goals. The first part of your lesson this week. And so, again, if we are for hybrid learners, if we're in class together, we will do this together in class. But if we are distance learning, then you'll be doing this on your own at home. And like I said, for my online learners, you guys are pros at this. So there is a video for you guys to watch to refresh on the water cycle. I know that this is a concept that you guys have seen before at the elementary level. So hopefully this will be a refresher. We are going to be leveling up probably in terms of our vocabulary here. So watch the video and then type down 3 to 5 facts from the video. I would really like 5. I would prefer that you write down more facts than less, but you'll have room down here to write some different notes from the video. Then over here, based on what you've seen in the video, you're going to go in and you're going to label this diagram. I've done one for you. So this process of water moving into the atmosphere and forming clouds is called condensation. So I've labeled this picture condensation. And then what I'm going to be able to do, let me actually back off here for you guys. Once you have filled out your diagram, then you have these little definitions that you can drag and match over to the correct term. Okay, so that is your notes page. Now, while we're like filling this out, I really want you to be thinking about, okay, if we have water that's moving from the ocean into the air, not only like what processes this, but thinking about what's happening to heat. Where is heat going? So, in other words, in order for water to move from the liquid state into the gas, into the atmosphere, what has to happen here? Like, does this water have to absorb heat? Do we have to lose heat? That's going to be really important. Okay, so be thinking about that as you're filling this out. Okay, the next slide that you have in your notebook is going to be your journey of a water drop. And I have actually recorded instructions, an instructional video, and I'm going to link it right here for you. So when you go into your notebook, there will actually be an instructional video that tells you how to do this activity. The link to your activity itself, like the actual activity, is linked here at the top of your notebook, and it's called The Incredible Journey. So there are instructions at the beginning of these slides, so you can also get the instructions that way. And I've actually provided much more detailed instructions of what's going on here in that video. So I'm going to skip over this for right now just to save you some time, and I'll leave those instructions to your careful reading and your careful viewing. Okay, so here's your exit ticket. So this is kind of trying to kind of tie it all together. You've done some different activities here, and one of our learning goals was to really understand how the water cycle interacts with our ecosystem. So to wrap this up, I want you to answer the question, what role do plants and animals play in the water cycle? You'll type your answer here. And then I also have a little hydro flask over here where you can go online, find images, and create stickers and put them on your your Hydro Flask. And this is really just more of like a fun activity to kind of describe you. You could make this a water cycle theme and add stickers of like your favorite ways to utilize water or how water is really important to our environment. You could take this and you could just find a 5 different things that you really love that describe you, whatever you want to do here. But it says to customize your Hydro Flask by adding at least 5 stickers that describe you. You can use a Google image search, and then there's this website, remove.bg, that turns your images into stickers. So you can play around with that and try that out. When you're done, take a snip of the whole slide, and then you're going to go over to our folder for the week. So this will be over in Weather and Climate, Unit 3. Our folder for this week is 3.2, Water Cycle. And then here is your Google Doc for your snip of your slide 11. Here is a reminder. There's not really a lot in here, but this is just your reminder to go in and complete the Water Cycle Ed puzzle. So last thing here, one thing that I want you to do is an Ed puzzle on the water cycle. We're looking for 80% or higher on this to get full credit, or AKA 100%. If you have not joined my class in Ed Puzzle, it's third quarter. Where have you been? But there's still time, never too late. If you haven't joined my Ed Puzzle class, there are codes at the top of our Schoology page, just under our distance learning schedule. So that covers everything water cycle for all of my classes. Now, of course, like I said, for you guys who are my online scientists, you're not really going to have this at home versus in class situation. So you're just going to make sure that you get everything on these 2 lists completed, and then you will be good to go. Last little thing that I was going to share with you guys, I guess I also need to give you your question for the week. So I think my question for you guys would be, what is your favorite activity that involves water? Okay, it could be anything. It could be washing dishes. If that's your favorite activity with water, then that's what I want you to tell me in the discussion this week. Again, you have to answer that question, watch the weekly overview and answer the question. Wednesday for full points, Thursday for partial, and then after that, there are no more points for that. So yeah, tell me your favorite way that you use water, favorite activity involving water. Also, just as a note, in terms of your Unit 2 amusement park projects, there will be a delay due to weather in grading those if you submitted them on paper. For my online scientists, you guys, I should be most of the way through. If you submitted your assignment late, then I'm working on getting that graded for you. For all of you guys who have submitted your project on paper, all of those are at school right now, and I'm not at school. So there's going to be a little bit of delay on getting those graded. So just bear with me and be patient. I will definitely get your work graded as soon as I can, and I've been really enjoying your work. So it's just really cool to see your guys' creativity. I've really been loving that. So that's enough for me. I'm going to stop rambling now and let you go, but I hope you're doing well. And if you need anything, please reach out. I'll talk to you soon.